Definitely, yeah. There's a lot happening, unfortunately. So yeah, it's a big scam, and it used to kind of just happen during tax season, but nowadays it's kind of really any season, any time can happen to anyone.
So the scam in the news, I guess, lately is people getting phone calls kind of out of the blue and sort of being intimidated into making bad choices.
Absolutely, yeah. People either get live phone calls from people who are very nasty, very aggressive, and kind of put them on the defensive right away, say that they're with the IRS and money is owed, and if the money isn't paid, like right now, these people will be arrested. And it's very scary, and these calls are working, unfortunately. No one wants to be marched off in handcuffs, of course, but the fact of it is the IRS does not make calls like this. They will not threaten you with arrest, and that's your first red flag right there when someone mentions the word arrest in regard to an IRS call.
Now, Dan, how do people get your information? I just want to know, what are some of the ways that these people are targeting you?
Well, phone lists are kind of, many people do it the right way as far as, like, say you sign up for a contest at the mall. Many people will tell you right then and there either no, we will not share your information, or yes, we will. Online contests, things like this, maybe you sign up for a newsletter online, this kind of thing. It really comes down to privacy policies. Anytime you share your information, it's always a good idea to ask the questions. Will you share my information? Will you sell my information? Again, many people handle these lists responsibly, play by the rules. Other people, unfortunately, do not, will kind of sell them to any bidder, and that's how these phone lists get built, and that's how people get phone calls like this and wind up on these lists.
You know, obviously we're talking about this one specific situation, the scam that's been in the news lately, but during tax season, more and more I hear about people having their identity stolen or people filing taxes using your Social Security number and information. What can people do? Do you have some bullet points on what can people do to stay safe during tax season?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first and foremost, I think people really just need to be aware that this is happening and really can happen to anyone with the numerous data breaches the last 2-3 years. Unfortunately, a lot of information is out there, and scammers don't need a lot of information to potentially file a fraudulent tax return to claim a refund that should be due you. Basically, all they need is your Social Security number, your birth date, and your address. So people first need to know that this could happen. From there, it's always a good idea to file your tax return as quickly as possible. Tax season formally opened. The IRS begins processing returns just earlier this week on the 19th, Tuesday. So if you've got your W-2 and forms together and paperwork, it's a pretty good idea to get moving on this as quickly as possible, because once you file that return, obviously no one else is going to be able to file the return after yours has been entered.
So you're saying do the work before the scammer does?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's one of the safer ways to do it. Absolutely, do the work before the scammer does. And also from there, obviously, be very protective of your Social Security number. Mm-hmm. Only give it out when absolutely necessary. First, see if there's any other forms of ID you can offer up. And from there, only give it over to trusted organizations, institutions, that sort of thing. And I think another way that people can protect themselves to some degree is on Facebook. Many people, I used to do it, list their birthday, and that's always fun. Everyone likes to get those messages. We all like to hear that, of course, from our friends and people we know in our lives. But that does give scammers access to that information too, potentially, and that is a big piece of the puzzle as far as these fraudulent tax returns.
I'm going and changing that right now.
Me too. That's exactly what I do all the time on Facebook.
Well, Dan, I appreciate you making us smarter and safer.
Yes, thank you.
And go get your taxes done before the scammers do.
Will do, Pete and Ashley. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Thanks for being on.